Hello everyone. Today we are going to present about a communication related situation which is cyberbullying, and we are going to explain how to prevent cyberbullying in social media with the use of social penetration theory.
Hello, I'm Sarah and I will be talking about how social penetration theory can be used to handle cyberbullying. Cyberbullying is bullying that takes place over digital devices like cell phones, computers, and tablets. Harassing is the most common online form of abuse that usually happens when bullies start posting gossip, attacks, or embarrassing facts on social networking sites like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or text messages. Social penetration theory can be related and used to manage this issue by getting to know the victims deeper, not just by words of mouth, grapevines, and first impressions. This theory explains that relationships begin and deepen through self disclosure. There are four stages of self disclosure that can be used to avoid online abuse and to support the victims of cyberbullying. The first stage is called orientation stage. This is often known as the phase of small talk or first impression, where people become acquainted by analyzing mannerisms and personal style and by sharing non intimate details about themselves. They attempt to avoid controversy or potentially polarizing subjects such as political views or religious belief. The second stage is called exploratory affective stage. Individuals start to uncover more about themselves during this stage, for example, their decisions of sports group, and there might be an improvement in the extent of the subjects discussed. Casual interaction form at this phase, and most relationships remain at this level. The third stage is called affective stage. In this phase, people tend to share any details about their private self or more personal information. Disclosure is scheduled at this point where people are relaxed enough to disagree or question each other. And finally, stable stage. This stage is defined by genuineness and closeness. Some of the deepest personal thoughts, beliefs, and values are shared, and each can predict the emotional reactions of the other person. This stage is characterized with complete openness, raw honesty, and a high degree of spontaneity. In this case, this issue can certainly be stopped by using this method, saying that it explains the ways of getting to know the victim slowly and gradually, instead of jumping into assumptions about them. Rather than joining the bullies and believing the gossips, support and comfort can be offered by listening to the victim's side of the story. The victims may not open up to just anyone, but by using the stages of self disclosure, slowly but surely it could help them spill at least a bit of information about themselves.
Assalamualaikum and hi, I am Norliana and I'm going to explain about the background of communication theory. Communication theory is the explanation of an experience. A lot of scholar work involving the study of the particular kind of experience with a keen eye. This was said by Little John on 2002. In the other year on 2009, a man named this defined theory as a way of see and think about the world. Meanwhile, communication theory have at least three different lenses which to view on how the process works as the communication is a one-way process, meaning construction. By the meaning was developed by the receiver while the sender choose to construct or reconstruct before sent to the receiver. The communication can work as two-way process and can view as omnidirectional diachronic process of meaning construction, where the focus is about continuous development of meaning itself. The clarity to an otherwise jumbled state should bring by the objective of the theory so it can throw order out of course. When we repeatedly notice the same things happen in the same situation, we can start to think of invariable patterns of universal laws. Social penetration theory is developed just to explain the way of information exchange in development of the solution of an interpersonal relationship. Also, social penetration theory can be explained accomplished through self-disclosure of a purposeful process on revealing something information about oneself. The theory was criticized by certain people. Start with the limited scope offered in this theory. It almost describes the early stage of the development of a relationship and also on how the development of a dating relationship through the time. In fact, social penetration theory is not clear as much where it describes or explains on what occurs for established the relationship such as with friends, family or couple basically. Other than that, the scholar wondering of the rates of reciprocity are higher, where it most likely is highest in the middle stage of a certain relationship beside the final stages of a relationship. The social penetration theory can indicate people on the first evaluate relationship of the basic of reward and the cost that involving the relationship. One of them cannot be in there just because of the certain benefit that one will get.
In conclusion, situations like cyberbullying can be prevented and can be controlled by one of communication theory that is called social penetration theory. There are 4 stages of self-disclosure that can be used to avoid online abuse and to support the victims of cyberbullying. That includes orientation stage, exploratory effective stage, a stable stage, and effective stage. Despite the use in preventing and helping the victims of cyberbullying, there are critics for the theory, such as limited scope offering, disclosure that are too linear, and creating a relationship based on benefits, while the fact is, sometimes relationships are built randomly. That's it from our group. I hope you guys can understand. If there's any question, please ask it directly to us. Thank you once again for paying attention.